A very good morning to all my dear students. Students, in the previous tutorial, we have studied about the political impact of colonialism on the tribal people. That the tribals, they were deprived of their administrative powers, independence, authority. They have to follow the rules and laws which were laid by the Britishers. And in this, they suffered most. Now, in today's tutorial, we are going to cover the economic impact of colonialism on the tribal people. Economic, which you already know that it is related to money. So, heavy revenue systems were imposed by the Britishers on the tribal people, and which tribal people were not able to pay, and they arranged themselves and raised a revolt against the Britishers. So now we will study the economic impact of colonialism on the tribal people. Let's read the chapter. Economic impact. The tribals were very upset and reduced to the rank of laborers economically. The British opposed the Jhum system of cultivation because this system required movement from one plot to another plot of land. So what is Jhum system? In this, the people, they move from one plot to another. But this system was opposed by the Britishers because they were not able to control the tribal people in this type of cultivation. The British thought that it would be difficult to control over the tribals, who were constantly on a move. In order to ensure control as well as regular source of revenue, the British introduced them to land settlements in the forest areas and fixed the revenue demands of each area. So, why Britishers they opposed Jhum system? Because they were not able to control the tribal people who were constantly on a move. So what they have done, they have introduced a land settlement, means that they have to live in the forest area, lands were fixed for them, and revenue was also fixed for them, for the tribal people, by the Britishers. The British was not able to understand that settled cultivation in forest areas was not possible, where there was less water and lands got dried up quickly. But Britishers, they have failed to understand that if they are doing such kind of land settlements, it will not be suitable, because in many areas there is less water. So how it is possible to do the agriculture with scarcity of water? As a result, settled plot cultivation did not yield good and sufficient crops there. The tribals raised their voice against the British, and that is why they were the tribal people, because of the scarcity of water, they were not able to yield good crops, and they raised a revolt against the Britishers. If tribals were moved off far off places, there would be scarcity of the cheap labor resources for the British. So why Britishers they oppose the Jhum system? Another reason is that they have stopped the Jhum system of cultivation, because if tribal people they move, if they move from one place to another, then then there will be a scarcity of labor for the Britishers, means no labor will be there. So how the Britishers will take the how the Britishers will take. As a result, they allowed them to do Jhum cultivation in some areas of the forest. That is why the Britishers they allowed them to do Jhum cultivation in only in some areas of the forest. For increasing their revenues, the British took over large tracts of forest land and declared them as state property or the reserved zones. Now, what the Britishers took, they started taking some area of forest lands and declared them as reserved zones, means only that area will be meant for the Britishers. There they grew cash crops such as indigo, opium, jute and poppy that were highly in demand in Europe. In those reserved zones, Britishers, they grew cash crops. What were the cash crops grown? Indigo, which you know that is dye. Opium. Opium is also a kind of a powerful drug which is made from a flower poppy. In Hindi we called as afim. Yes, opium. Jute and poppy. So these type of crops were grown in these reserve zones because they were in great demand in Europe. The tribals were not allowed to enter these reserve zones in search of food or animals because these reserve zones are meant only for the Britishers' use. The British banned on tribals for using of timber and grazing of animals. So see, Britishers, they banned also. Yes, they banned for entering on reserve zones. They banned on using of timber and grazing of animals. Finally, they were forced to move to other areas to earn a livelihood. So now they were not permitted to the reserve zones and they were forced that they have to move from these zones to another places to earn their livelihood. They allowed them to cultivate these lands on the condition that the cultivators would provide labor to the British as and when required by them. So some conditions were imposed by the Britishers that if they want to use these reserve zones, then cultivators, they have to provide labor to the Britishers whenever they required. The cultivators were also entrusted the task of looking after the forest. And another thing, that the cultivators, they have to look after the forest. The small tracts of land given by the British to the cultivators did not fulfill their families' requirements. Labourers got very low wages from their British employers. So here also you can see that if the cultivators, they agreed on British terms, then they were provided with small areas of land. But that land is not enough for the cultivators as they are not able to fulfill their family requirements, and they got the low wages also by the Britishers. Consequently, in order to sustain a living, the cultivators resorted to moneylenders, traders and contractors. So, now in order to sustain their life, what cultivators? They moved to moneylenders to take the money, to borrow the money from the traders also and from the contractors also. The money lenders exploited them by charging high rate of interest. See, now this money lenders were also type of a cruel persons. Yes, they also started exploiting the contractors. The traders sold their goods at higher prices. The contractors gave them jobs at low wages. Thus, the conditions of the cultivators became miserable. So, what happened? The condition of cultivators became miserable because the money lenders also exploiting them, traders were also exploiting them, and contractors were also exploiting them. Anger and discontent of the cultivators against the new system forced them to revolt against the British. Anger and discontent here means dissatisfaction arose among the cultivators and they raised a revolt against the Britishers. The Songgram Sangama revolt of Assam in 1906 and the Forest Satyagraha of 1930s in the central provinces were the revolts of tribals who defied the colonial system. So this is the name of a revolt. This Forest Satyagraha also, these revolts were raised by the cultivators against the colonial system of the Britishers. In the 19th century, tea plantation and coal mining gave a chance of new jobs for the cultivators in Assam and Jharkhand respectively. But the condition of laborers working there was not very good. So this tea plantation, coal mining gave them another chance, but still their condition was very miserable. Besides very low wages, the laborers were not allowed to get permission to go back to their homes also. So, by this we are able to know that how economically the cultivators, they suffered by the Britishers. Now we will study the social impact of colonialism over the tribal people. As students, you have already studied about the caste system. Yes, in the same way, not caste system actually, but the tribal people, they were divided into social groups. Socially, the tribals were annoyed to breakdown of their joint family system because the laborers often have to go to far off places in search of job. In earlier only you have studied that they own their land collectively, but now there is a breakdown of the joint family system. They have to go far off places for the search of jobs. Some tribals were designated by the English as chieftains, while the others were called laborers. See, now socially also titles were assigned to the tribal people by the Britishers. Chieftains, then laborers. The chieftains looked after the reserved lands, while the laborers provided them services. So chieftains were close to the English people. They looked after the lands, and laborers, they do the services on the land. This led to the emergence of classes within the tribal societies. So now tribal societies were also divided into classes. The Christian missionaries were also active in the forest to educate the tribals, but they were designated as the agents of the British who had come to convert them to Christianity. So the Christian missionaries also, they were trying their best to educate the tribal people, and they were also trying to convert them into Christianity. The conditions of the tribals were deteriorated by the colonial rule. Deteriorated means it was completely ruined. There were no other alternative left for them. The tribal movements in colonial India were mostly militant and occurred intervally. So militant means that with violence, and it occurred very frequently. In India, there were as many as 70 tribal revolts from 1778 to 1947. How many tribal revolts fought? It was 70. 70 tribal revolts were fought. Now students, you can see these are the name of some tribal revolts which were fought. Like for example, they have given the main tribal revolts were Bhils in Madhya Pradesh. Bhils, they were the tribal group people. Then Kols fought in Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. The Kutch rebellion which was fought in Kutch and Kathiawar regions. Vaghedas and Oka Mandal. The Renaissance which were fought in Western Ghats. These are the names of some tribal social groups which fought. Then the Khasis which fought in Meghalaya. Mundas which of Chota Nagpur. Santals in Bihar and Bengal. The Deccan Riots, the Bastar rebellion of central India, and the Varli movement of Maharashtra. So these were the tribal groups of people which they fought for the colonial rule from different states of India. So students, today we have studied about the economic impact and the social impact of colonial rule on the tribal people. So now in the next tutorial we will cover more revolts which were raised by the tribal people. Till then, your homework is read the chapter carefully and meet you in the next tutorial. Till then, have a good day.